Imagine finding a single penny in your change jar that could be worth nearly $1 million. Sounds crazy, right? But it's absolutely real. One ordinary looking coin from 1942 without a mint mark could make you a fortune. Today, we're uncovering the shocking truth behind this mysterious 1942 Lincoln penny that sold for up to $956,000. And trust me, by the end of this video, you'll be checking every penny in your collection. This is not your average copper coin. The 1942 Lincoln wheat penny looks like millions of others. But one small detail, or sometimes one tiny error, can turn pocket change into life-changing money. So what makes this specific penny so valuable? Let's break it down. In 1942, the United States Mint was producing Lincoln cents primarily in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. If your penny has a small D or S under the date, that means it was made in Denver or San Francisco. But if there's no mint mark, it was struck in Philadelphia. And normally, those Philadelphia coins are among the most common. But here's the twist: some 1942 pennies were struck using the most were made of copper. But a very tiny number were accidentally minted on bronze planchets that had slightly different compositions. Others were struck using leftover blanks from foreign coins or had striking errors like doubled dies, off-center strikes, or clipped planchets. These minting mistakes are extremely rare. And rarity drives value. Collectors go crazy over these kinds of errors because they are almost impossible to find. They are like winning the lottery. One such 1942 no-mint mark Lincoln cent, in pristine condition with a unique error, sold at auction for $956,000. And no, that's not a typo, that particular coin had everything going for it. Razor-sharp details, a perfect chocolate brown tone, and a verified mint error that made it one of a kind. Experts authenticated it, and collectors battled over it. The final bid? Just shy of $1 million. So how do you know if your 1942 penny is valuable? Here's what to look for. First, check the date and make sure it says 1942 with no letter underneath. That means it's from Philadelphia. Then, inspect the coin's color and surface. Is it darker than usual? Does it have unusual luster or odd markings? Now, take a closer look at the lettering in Lincoln's profile. Are the letters doubled or fuzzy? Is the edge off-center or clipped? If anything looks unusual, your next step is to get it checked by a professional coin grader. Services like PCGS or NGC can verify authenticity and assign a grade that determines its market value. And here's the kicker. Even if your penny isn't worth $956,000, many 1942 no-mint mark pennies with minor errors still sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. The demand for rare coins is massive right now. Collectors and investors are willing to pay top dollar for rare cents, especially those with historical quirks or minting flaws. And since 1942 was a wartime year, any anomalies from that period are especially desirable. Before you go digging through your drawers and piggy banks, here's a quick recap. You're looking for a 1942 Lincoln wheat penny. It must have no mint mark under the date. Bonus points if it has an unusual color or a visible minting error, and if it looks pristine. Get it graded. Who knew that a simple penny from 1942 could be worth more than a Lamborghini? That's the magic of coin collecting. Ordinary coins with extraordinary stories. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful or fascinating, hit that like button and subscribe for more rare coin breakdowns. And don't forget to check your pockets. The next $1 million penny might be hiding in plain sight. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel where we explore rare coins and hidden treasures you might already have in your pocket or tucked away in a jar. Today we're talking about one specific coin that could be worth a surprising amount of money. I'm talking about the 1956 D Lincoln penny. This little copper coin, struck in Denver, might not seem like much at first glance, but don't be fooled. Depending on its condition and a few key factors, it could be worth a whole lot more than 1 cent. So before you toss that old penny into a coin jar or spend it without thinking, you're going to want to stick around. You might be sitting on a coin worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Yes, really. Let's dive in and take a closer look at the 1956 D Lincoln penny and what makes it so special. First, let's talk a little bit about the background. The 1956 D penny is part of the Lincoln Wheat Cent series. These pennies were minted from 1909 to 1958 and are called wheat pennies because of the wheat stalks on the reverse side. In 1956, there were over 1.09 billion of these pennies struck at the Denver Mint, and you can identify them by the small D mint mark right under the date. Now you're probably thinking, if over a billion of these were made, how could they be rare or valuable? That's a fair question. And here's the answer. Most of them were circulated and show signs of wear. But coins that have survived in mint condition, especially those with strong luster and few marks, are far more scarce and desirable among collectors. In fact, what really drives up the value of the 1956 D penny is the coin's grade. This is a way of measuring the condition of a coin, and the scale goes from 1 to 70. The higher the number, the better the condition. If your 1956 D penny is in circulated condition, meaning it's been used in shows wear, it might only be worth a few cents to a couple of dollars. But if it's in uncirculated condition with no wear and strong detail, that's when things start to get interesting. Now listen to this. A 1956 D penny in MS65 red condition, that's a grade given by professional coin grading services like PCGS or NGC, can sell for around $15 to $25. And if it's a top quality MS67 or MS68 red, you're looking at a value in the hundreds. The current market value for a stunning 1956 D Lincoln penny in MS67 red has been recorded at around $1,600. Yes, one penny, over $1,600 at auction. That's not bad for something you might find in an old coin jar, but there's more. Some 1956 D pennies have varieties and errors that make them even more valuable. Keep an eye out for double die errors, which happen when the die that strikes the coin shifts slightly between strikes. This can cause parts of the design, like the date or the lettering, to appear doubled. These double die errors are extremely collectible. If you have a 1956 D penny with a strong double die on the obverse or reverse, it could bring in significantly more money depending on demand and grade. There's also a known repunched mint mark variety for this year. That's when the D mint mark was stamped more than once, resulting in a visible doubling or shadow of the letter D. Collectors love these small variations because they tell a story about the minting process and add a layer of uniqueness to the coin. Now you might be wondering, how do I know if my 1956 D penny is valuable? First, check its condition. The less wear, the better. Look at the luster and the detail, especially around Lincoln's cheek and jaw, and the wheat stalks on the back. If it looks almost brand new, it might be worth submitting to a grading service for a professional opinion. Second, look for signs of errors or doubling. You can do this with a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe. If you see anything strange or unusual about the lettering, date, or mint mark, you might have a variety that's worth more. And finally, don't clean your coin. I can't stress this enough. Cleaning a coin can reduce its value drastically. Even if it looks dirty or tarnished, leave it as it is. Collectors want original surfaces, and cleaning can scratch the coin or alter its natural appearance, making it far less desirable. So, to wrap it up, the 1956 D Lincoln penny might seem common, but the truth is, it can be worth much more than face value. Uncirculated examples can bring in $20 or more, and high-grade, certified specimens can sell for hundreds to over $1,000. Add in an error or repunched mint mark, and you've got a seriously valuable coin on your hands. Go check your change jars, your dresser drawers, your old piggy banks. You never know what you might find. That ordinary-looking penny could be a hidden gem. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this video helpful or interesting, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more videos on rare coins and collectibles. We've got new content every week to help you find treasure in your pocket change. See you in the next video. Did you know that a simple penny from 1951 could be worth far more than just 1 cent? Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of coin collecting, and specifically, we're taking a closer look at the 1951 no mint mark Lincoln wheat penny. This humble copper coin, once just spare change in someone's pocket, could now be worth a surprising amount of money. So if you've got a jar of old coins lying around, you'll want to stick around until the end of this video. You might be holding onto a small treasure. History of the coin. First, let's talk a little about the history of this coin. The 1951 Lincoln wheat penny was part of a series that began back in 1909 to celebrate the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person's portrait. Prior to this, U.S. coins used symbolic images, like Lady Liberty, designed by Victor David Brenner, The coin shows Lincoln's profile on the front, or obverse side, with the words "In God We Trust" across the top, "Liberty" to the left, and the year 1951 stamped on the right. If there's no letter beneath the date, it means the coin was minted in Philadelphia. On the reverse side, you'll find 2 wheat stalks on the edges and the words 1 cent and United States of America in bold in the center. This is why collectors call it the wheat penny. Minting in availability now. Let's talk about minting. In 1951, over 284 million of these coins were produced in Philadelphia alone, without a mint mark. That's why it's referred to as the 1951 no mint mark penny. With that high number, it may seem like these coins are common, and many are. But the true value lies in the details. What makes it valuable? So what makes one of these pennies worth more than face value? It comes down to 3 main factors: condition, rarity, and errors. First is condition. A coin in good condition might be worth just a few cents over face value. But a coin in mint state, also known as uncirculated, can be worth significantly more. Coins that have been preserved in pristine condition for over 70 years are far more desirable to collectors. Next is rarity. While millions were made, finding one in mint condition or with a rare variation is much harder. Some coins were struck slightly differently, have die cracks, or were double stamped. These minting errors are extremely attractive to collectors. Finally, there's the market demand. Right now, coin collecting is as popular as ever, and the prices of rare coins are reflecting that. Online marketplaces and auctions are booming with activity. Collectors are paying big bucks for high-grade examples. Recent sales and current market value. Let's get to what everyone wants to know. What is a 1951 no mint mark Lincoln wheat penny worth today? In circulated condition, this penny is usually worth between 3 and 15 cents. Not too exciting, right? But here's where things get interesting. If the coin is in uncirculated, mint state condition, we're talking grades like MS63 or MS65, then the value shoots up. These coins can sell for anywhere from $1 to $3 or more depending on quality. But that's not all. In higher grades like MS66 or MS67 with stunning luster and no blemishes, collectors have paid upwards of $50 to $100 for a single coin. One particularly beautiful example even sold at auction for over $150, and then there are the rare error coins. If you come across a 1951 penny with a noticeable minting error like an off-center strike, double die obverse, or clipped planchet, the value can jump dramatically. Some error pennies from this year have fetched $300 or more. That's a big leap from 1 cent. How to check if you have a valuable PNNY? So how can you tell if your 1951 penny is valuable? Start by checking the date and mint mark. If there's no letter under the year, that means it was minted in Philadelphia. Then, take a close look at the condition. If there's minimal wear and sharp details on both sides, that's a great sign. Next, look for any abnormalities. Does the coin have any doubling of the letters or numbers? Any misaligned edges? These could be minting errors that add value. If you're unsure, consider having your coin graded by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They can give you an official grade and help you understand the market value. Where to sell or buy? If you discover your penny might be worth something, you have a few options. You can list it on online platforms like eBay or Etsy. Many collectors browse these sites daily. Alternatively, take it to a local coin shop or a coin show where you can get a professional opinion and maybe even sell it on the spot. And if you're looking to collect rather than sell, the 1951 no mint mark penny is an affordable and fascinating addition to any collection. It represents a piece of American history and carries the legacy of one of our greatest presidents, Abraham Lincoln. Closing THOUGHTSO, the next time you come across a handful of old pennies, take a closer look. That 1951 Lincoln wheat penny could be worth far more than 1 cent. With the right condition or a rare error, you might just be holding a tiny treasure. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell so you won't miss out on more coin collecting tips and coin value guides. Leave a comment below if you found a rare penny in your collection. We'd love to hear your story. Until next time, happy collecting and keep your eyes on the change. This coin almost ended up in a junk drawer, forgotten. Dirty. Just another penny in the pile, but when it finally saw the light of day, it sold for over $1 million, and the most chilling part, tens of thousands of people had the same coin in their pocket and threw it away. It's the 1955 Lincoln penny. A coin born from an ordinary mint run in Denver, yet somehow, it became one of the rarest, most valuable coins in American history. What went so catastrophically wrong that this humble coin became a millionaire maker? The story begins in the summer of 1955. The Denver Mint was working around the clock. Over 563 million pennies were struck that year, an almost mindless process of repetition, something nobody expected. A mechanical misfire. A die clash. A minting mistake so subtle, yet so striking, it created one of the most hypnotic errors ever seen on a US coin, and only a handful made it out. The rest, destroyed. Melted down, lost to time. One day, decades later, a coin dealer in Colorado stumbled upon a roll of old wheat pennies he was flipping through, barely paying attention. Then he saw it. A Lincoln penny, with the 1955 date, and a tiny, almost invisible D mark just below it. Nothing strange at first, until he held it under a magnifying glass. There it was. A doubling so crisp, so clean, so perfect, it looked like a ghost shadow behind every number. The 5 in 1955, the Liberty. Even Lincoln's profile had a subtle echo, but this wasn't the well-known 1955 Philadelphia double die. No, this was something far rarer, something almost mythical. A 1955 Denver Mint double die, one that wasn't supposed to exist. Collectors were stunned, experts scrambled to authenticate it, and when it was confirmed a legitimate Denver double die penny from 1955, the coin world lit up like wildfire. The next major auction, it didn't just break records, it shattered them. That coin sold for $1.4 million. One of the highest prices ever paid for a Lincoln cent. That wasn't the only one. At least 5 other specimens have surfaced. One was found inside a cigar box in Kansas, another discovered by a retired mechanic going through his old penny jar. One man, just cleaning out his father's garage, found one taped to the inside of a dusty folder labeled Weird Coins. He thought it was junk, until a local appraiser nearly fainted. But what makes this coin so valuable? You see, Denver wasn't supposed to produce any double die errors that year. The machines were newer, the quality control was tighter. This kind of flaw should have been impossible, and only a few made it. Some say no more than 7 to 10 exist, others whisper there may be one final specimen, still hiding in a jar, a drawer, or a forgotten piggy bank somewhere in Middle America. And this tiny detail is why it's worth millions, and most people miss it. Because the doubling on the 1955 D isn't always obvious to in some cases. It's like you have to know where to look and what to ignore. Thousands of collectors throw these away because they're looking for the wrong signs. Flip your 1955 penny, check the date. If it has a small d just below the date, you're on the right track then. Under bright light or with a 10x loop, look closely at the numbers in 1955. The best examples show a ghost-like doubling, especially on the last 5. Also check the word Liberty. If the letters have shadows, or appear slightly split, you may be holding something worth life-changing money. But be careful, there are countless fakes. Some people glue on D mint marks, or artificially double the date. These are worthless. That's why, if you even think you found one, get it certified by PCGS or NGC immediately, because one man's pocket change became $1 million miracle, and yours could too. Maybe in a bag of coins you haven't looked at since the 80s. Maybe in a penny tray at the gas station. Maybe in your hand right now. This exact penny could be sitting in your drawer, and it's worth over $1 million. Imagine finding a single penny in your change jar that could make you nearly a millionaire. It sounds like a dream, but it happened. A 1941 Lincoln wheat penny with no mint mark was once valued at over $956,000. Yes, one copper coin, 1 cent, almost $1 million. Let me explain why this isn't just pocket change. This is history in your hands. Every coin has a story, and sometimes that story is worth a fortune. Today we're diving into one of the most mysterious and valuable coins ever. Discover the 1941 no mint mark Lincoln wheat penny. How much is yours worth? What makes it special? And how can you tell if you're sitting on a gold mine? The 1941 penny was minted in 3 places: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. But the no mint mark version means it was made in Philadelphia. Millions were produced there. So why is one worth over $950,000? Let's break it down. First, not all 1941 pennies are valuable. In fact, most are worth 1 to 10 cents, but the rare ones, the jaw-dropping 6-figure ones, have something different. It could be a minting error, a double die, a unique strike, an off-center punch, or an incredibly rare high-grade example graded MS68 or above. MS means mint state, a grade that tells how perfect the coin is. The scale goes up to 70, and anything over 66 is considered museum quality. In 2019, one pristine 1941 no mint mark Lincoln penny graded MS68 plus red sold for over $956,000 at auction. Why? Because it was nearly flawless bright copper. Red, no scratches, no blemishes, an almost perfect survivor from over 80 years ago. So how do you know if your 1941 penny is worth anything? First, check the date. If it says 1941 and there's no small letter below the date, you've got a Philadelphia mint. Second, check the color. Red is best, red. Brown is next. Brown is common. Third, condition, no scratches, no wear, a shiny surface. The cleaner and sharper the coin, the more it's worth. Fourth, errors, look for doubling on the numbers or letter strikes that are off center or any unusual marks. Lastly, consider grading. Professional grading from services like PCGS or NGC can unlock the real value. Yes, it costs a little money, but it could turn your penny into a payday. So next time you're digging through your change, look twice. That 1941 penny might be more than a coin, it might be a treasure, almost $1 million from a single cent. It's not just luck, it's knowing what to look for. If you learned something today, smash that like button, subscribe for more rare coin secrets, and remember, your fortune might already be in your pocket.